Right, so hello there. Welcome to the first video on this channel. I run the channel Cobra Plays games for fun, and this is my first video, and this is my first time playing Cities Skylines II. So what I'm going to go and do is set up a test game using the Mountain Village map here. I'm going to go ahead and call it Testy Town, because, you know, that is what it is. And it means nothing else at all. We'll leave natural disasters on. We've set it to North American. And we'll play with tutorials, because this is my first time. I did play the other Cities Skylines game, but, you know, things are going to be different. So, welcome to Cities Skylines 2. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's the same camera controls as Cities Skylines 1, which is all quite straightforward. So what I did do here, this was actually earlier. I went in and adjusted the graphics a bit because the motion blur was a problem for me. This is also filmed in 1080p, 30 frames per second, because unfortunately at 4K and 60 frames per second it just wasn't running very well for me. But we had heard there'd be performance issues, so I'm optimistic that will change, you know, with future updates. It's a good company, Colossal Order. I like how interactive they are with the players, so I'm optimistic. I've already went straight into this trying to build roads without actually looking at what it said, because that's what you do when you start a game, Cities Skylines. You go straight into building the roads, and of course I forget this is actually a new game. So build this sort of, you've got this nice medium wide road here. You've got this roundabout, which is awesome. I couldn't quite get it sort of centered with the multi-lane road. I had a look through some of the tools. I know you can sort of, there's like this almost like a move it tool where you can adjust the road slightly to the left and right. I couldn't see it in the tools here, so I, you know, just decided to go with one that's slightly off center. But you know what? That kind of thing is nice. It gives cities a bit of character, you know. Makes it a bit different. It's not all uniform. So yeah, I had a bit of a play around with the tutorial. I'm not going to show you that in the whole video because, of course, you know, that's, if you get the game, that's something you'll want to go through yourself at your own pace. Or if you've already played Cities Skylines before, you get the gist of, you know, building roads and zoning and what have you. I do like how there's a lot more grid. It's not just 4 by 4. You know, you've got all this other space, so it gives you just a bit more. You can have small plots to build on, or you can have big plots to build on. I think that's quite cool. It's a bit of a shame there still isn't zoning around roundabouts. I know that's very difficult to do. I was wondering if it would be possible to sort of do that in the way. If you've watched any of the dev diaries and things, you've seen that farms can be sort of drawn out. I was wondering if zones could be drawn out around roundabouts. And although the models of the houses would stay the same as a grid, the gardens would be sort of customised around a roundabout. I don't know if that would be possible. But hey, new game, and previous game had years of content, so we'll see. So I actually, it just cut then, I actually turned off the of the music. I just don't know how YouTube's going to feel about the music. And yeah, as you can see, just going through the tutorial, placing some utilities. We've got our first milestone there. Tiny village, happy days. I do like the little cheering you get. So that's quite good fun. So there we go. That was the tutorial. So we're already through that. And yeah, I'm now free to expand Testy Town. I think in the future I might rename it to Testy Towny. Testy Town really doesn't sound good. I wasn't thinking when I named that. But I mean, this is just literally just a test. I actually do plan to run a series with actually sort of like live commentary as I go and everything. At the moment, this is actually pre-recorded. I didn't have my microphone while recording, so because I was an idiot and forgot to take it out with me. But that's why I'm now doing a voiceover. Let's fast forward a bit, show you a bit of the zoning. I like to do a bit of variation, so it's not all the same. Apologies if you hear the clanking of glasses, I am having a drink. A nice honey in Ribena. I like the power plant. I love the way trucks drive right in there. And there's my row homes. So to me, the row homes are one of the best features of Cities Skylines 2. The vanilla Cities Skylines game didn't have much support for that. The European stuff was attached, which was quite nice, but that was all sort of big city stuff. The row homes are the kind of things you will see in small towns, so I love the row homes, especially in sort of places like the northeast. Obviously, New York's a common example, but London, other places around the world. So I love that. So John Keller, saw him sitting on his porch there. Figured I'd give him a follow. I loved the fact that you can actually see him on the porch. So yeah, there he was, born in October 2018, which was only 5 years ago. He's not exactly looking 5 years old, but sure thing. Exporting the electricity, that was quite cool. Is quite cool. I really like that because that's what happens in real life. You know, towns don't keep all the power to themselves. Alternatively, most towns don't have a power station. You know, they import it from other places. It's part of the national grid. I wouldn't even call it importing, but you know, you can call it importing, I suppose. I tend to think of importing between countries. I also like the alleyways here. This is quite cool, you know. It's like you get behind row homes in the centre of towns and cities. I did have a bit of fun trying to place these. I wanted to place it all at a 90-degree angle to get the grid right, and it was a bit hit and miss. So I went back and did it a few times, and figured I'd just sort of do it halfway and then get it zoned out. I have actually removed the water pipe. I think I just fixed that actually, didn't I? The high rent thing basically means there's imbalance. I'm still trying to get to grips with it, really, because to me, a detached house, you don't really pay much. You can pay rent on the land, of course you can. You know, you've got landowners and you pay rent to them, but I feel like a lot of towns, the detached homes, you own that house and that property, or of course in the modern day, you get a loan from the bank, you pay the mortgage basically. So I think the high rent thing's a little bit strange. I can understand where it's coming from, but it can get a bit annoying. But to be fair, I actually need to do a bit more research into it. I know it was well explained in one of the dev diaries, and it sort of went over my head a little bit. So it's something I'll learn as the game goes on. I tend to find, the best way to learn is to do it myself. All that XP coming in, nice bit of bendy road there. I just sort of play with it a bit. This is a test town. This is just me playing around. Just gonna quickly. Oh God. Okay, so I actually just built my my Ribena, my hot Ribena. So that wasn't very good. But it is what it is. So let's stretch out this grid here. This is quite a cool feature. I actually really like this. I mean, I like customize my roads quite a bit, but if you want to just get an industrial area thrown down, stick the grid tool on and voila. Because of course we need a bit more industry. So I don't actually know where the photos save. If someone can give me a bit of point on that, that would be great. That's in the little camera feature. And this is all the tiles. There's a lot more of them, but they're smaller. So I like the fact that you get these sort of like, you purchase a bit more land. So the petrol station, that's quite cool. Fuel station, gas station, whatever you want to call it. Let's fast forward a little. At this point it's, there's a roundabout, that's quite cool. A few more roads getting built. I'm going to do some zoning, little cul-de-sac. More zoning. Commercial. I would like to have some music when I fast forward like this, but I don't know where I stand in regards to YouTube. This is a new channel. I'm gonna mess it up straight away. The row homes can be a bit annoying. I like the fact that you've got so many of them going backwards, and then you've got these ones that don't go back. They don't fill in the whole area I've zoned. I think, well, if I only want them to take up 2 squares, then I'll zone 2 squares. If I want them to take up all the squares going back, then I'll zone all those squares going back. But there you go. It is what it is. I'm sure these things will change with mods and what have you, and DLC, which I'm looking forward to. At this point, I really couldn't figure out how to keep up with it, and I was suffering with some frame rate issues. The performance is a bit is a bit tricky. It works for me with the 3080 Ti. It works at 1080p and 30 frames per second. But I know I'm above the recommendations, and it's still a bit icky in places. Like I say, they'll probably sort that out in time. So as you can see, it's now night time. That was quite cool. We had some stars in the sky there. So I forgot to sort out this road, so we're just sorting it out there, dragging it up to the alleyway. Make sure you've got the right thing selected. And there's some weird looking row homes. And of course, unfortunately, they zoned on the alleyway behind them. So one of the best mods in Cities Skylines was definitely the feature to disable zoning on certain roads, and I don't know if this is in the game somewhere. It might be something to play with, but I don't think it is, because I'd like to remove zoning on the alleyway and just have it as an alleyway. I would still like to be able to zone on alleyways, you know. It's something you see a lot in a lot of tight towns and stuff, but that alleyway I didn't want zoning on it, so I'd like to be able to change it up a little. Give it a little bit of a... trying to think of a good example of a place that's got row homes with alleyways behind them. There's a good 700 places like that in the UK alone, probably. That's where I'm from, so I've seen that kind of thing in New York and as well, and Los Angeles has those alleyways behind, you know, all the detached homes, which is quite cool. I just really like alleyways. So yeah, just a bit more zoning, skipping through it all. Some more industry. Don't know what that was, that weird sound. A little bit of lag there. And I figured, you know what? I'm hungry, I'm going to go and get dinner. Just going to leave the game playing here. Let it figure itself out, you know. Sometimes it's nice just to leave it to bring in a bit of money, get all upgraded, sort out some issues, settle in a little. So, see the time going by quite quickly. Sunset, sunrise, and there's lots of unhealthy people. Unfortunately, the nearest medical centre is quite far away. So that's probably what we want to build next. We've got plenty of money for a medical centre. Sorry, it's a medical clinic. I don't really think of clinics as being an emergency care thing. It's just not something. I tend to think of them more as, you know, somewhere to get drugs. Good drugs, obviously. Well, you know, legal drugs. Depends on your perspective of pharmaceuticals. I do like paracetamol. I'd get as a kid. That had the was it Calpol? I think it was called. That was flavoured and tasted like strawberries. So I noticed there's a bit of a corner to this building, and I want that corner to go in the corner. I know you can get extensions, so we'll leave the one side free, but I do want that corner to be cornered. I can't see the terrain here, so we're going to turn off nighttime just for the time being. Well, blinded by the light. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a bit of terraforming. I saw a lot of this in the live streams that people were doing, the Play It games, and I thought they've... Cities Skylines II, it handles the topography better when you place buildings, but it's still not perfect, and there's actually a really cool application to rather than have the buildings sort out the topography, you sort it out before you place the buildings. So I've sort of leveled it out here, and then I'm going to bring the road up, and then of course I can use the smooth it tool to just smooth that sharp bit out. It's a bit too close to that building. That's okay though. A little bit of a steep slope. That's all right with me. So of course you can do all the upgrades. That's something I'm not going to do, as it's a small town, so we've renamed it there. It's the Testy Medical Centre. I definitely need to change that name. So yeah, zoning out some more, just putting a few cul-de-sacs in, a few residential areas along the alleyway. Doesn't really need much sidewalk or crosswalks. Stuck an elementary school down there. I don't quite know how to draw paths. That's something I'd like to get in between the cul-de-sacs. We'll figure that out. Okay, so this is cool. So I run another channel. It's called Cobra Emergency. I do film fire engines as well as army tanks and presidential motorcades and stuff, and stick it on there. But yeah, I love fighting things, particularly fire trucks. Fire trucks are awesome. So we've got a firehouse here. We've got 4 fire engines in there. There's no ladder trucks or rescue trucks, but I'm sure that will come. That's the Testy Town Fire Department. And yeah, I don't quite know where the no parking is, because I don't really want someone to be parking their nice muscle car in front of the firehouse. It's probably a firefighter that owns the muscle car. He's parked right in the way there, but it's fair enough. We built the firehouse after he parked there, so sort it out. Really nice car. That's a lovely car. So the building's on fire and the fire trucks aren't yet turning out. It takes a little bit of a time. Give them some time. Oh no! Now there's a forest fire. I assumed one of the buildings had spread to the trees, and it hadn't. So I don't know where that forest fire was. And here comes the fire trucks. Yeah, so this is actually all pre-recorded. I forgot my microphone earlier, so. Oh, that's not very good apparatus placement there. That's going to cause some issues on the fireground. And he's just swanning off. There's 3 structured fires here, and he's just like, nope, I've done my job now. Let's get a photo. Okay. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. So I think the fire and the smoke looks incredible. A huge improvement on the first Cities Skylines. But yeah, the fact the fire trucks are leaving while there's still a fire is really awkward and annoying. Because that means now a fire engine has been assigned from another area. They're riding as a bit of mutual aid, and it's going to take them a while to get there. You see the fire trucks just leaving. They're not doing their jobs. Come on, guys. A bad fire department, they really are. No offence. I know they've only started their jobs 5 minutes ago, but so here comes the mutual aid fire department from Oakdale, I think it was. Honestly, I love the fire engines, and this engine here is awesome. The original Cities Skylines game, the engines and the ambulances just looked weird. These cars were okay, but this is just awesome. This screams American fire truck to me. You've got the hose beds on the back, you've got the pump panel on the side. It's a four-door cab. It's got that kind of. It looks like it could be a Pierce or a KME or a Seagrave or something. It's awesome, and these guys are jaywalking right in front of a fire truck. That's really inconsiderate of you guys. The siren on it's good as well. And look, there were other fire trucks left, and now the fire's gone out, and there's a hearse. All in all, very poor firefighting. And now someone's had a traffic collision. So this didn't really work for me, actually. I went and checked out the fire and rescue panel, and I couldn't see the traffic collision anywhere, so I don't know what that was about. But, you know, I'm sure we'll see traffic collisions in the future. It's probably because I was in the camera mode for so long that it's already been cleared up. There's your firehouse down there. I did have a little bit of a look around to see if it would have a list of incidents. I don't know, maybe that is a thing in the game. I can't remember if that was in the dev diaries, but I certainly don't see any traffic collisions. I certainly didn't see any traffic collisions. So that engine's going to go back to his town, and these guys are going to sit here in their firehouse doing bugger all. Shameful on you. Only the guys in Testy Town. The guys from Oakdale, the Oakdale Fire Department, you are the best. Better than all the rest. So yeah, this is a bit concerning. We might have toasted a few people. So we should probably build a cemetery. A little bit of frame rate issue here again. So we're going to terraform the land a little bit, stick the cemetery down here. This cemetery, the developers did a really nice job on this. I love this. I really think this is a huge improvement on the original Cities Skylines cemetery. The one thing I will definitely say about Cities Skylines II is, as vanilla goes, this looks like how the modded Cities Skylines II looked. So it's already an improvement, and I can't wait to see what mods come out and see how that works. I actually really like this myself, and I could really enjoy the vanilla game as it is. It looks good. The structure's there, just like the original game. The structure is great, and we can build on that, with all the other features. But just the assets, they look nice. This definitely has a sort of northeast kind of feel, or sort of parts of Canada and such. These row homes here, the sort of thing you'd find in the northern part of the US. And I'm afraid that's it, actually. The game actually crashed there. So, yeah. So, the game crashed there, and then when I tried to load it back up, the cloud wouldn't sync up, so I actually lost that save because it was saved on the cloud and not locally. So, goodbye, Testy Town. It might come back, but to be honest, as a test goes, that was good. And of course, this is my first video on this channel, my first time playing Cities Skylines II, and even my first time in a long time, actually. About 10 years since I last did a play it with audio. So let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate some feedback. That would be much appreciated. Thank you. Ta-ra for now.